On October 14th, 1066, William of Normandy stood ready for battle at the base of a hill. The high ground belonged to King Harold of England and his Anglo-Saxon army. Here, on this hilltop, the fate of England would be decided.
After playing a lot of Age of Empires 4 over the past week, the first thought that comes to mind is that this almost feels like a reimagining of Age of Empires 2, and that's not a bad thing at all. It's more like a rebuild of Age of Empires 2 with current graphics and a much better user experience in practically every single manner. Relic is definitely not taking any risks to deviate from the core formula here, and it shows. Age of Empires 4 doesn't redefine the RTS genre, but it's certainly a trip through history worth visiting. The official description reads, quote, "One of the most beloved real-time strategy games returns to glory with Age of Empires 4, putting you at the center of epic historical battles that shaped the world. Featuring both familiar and innovative new ways to expand your empire in vast landscapes with stunning 4K visual fidelity, Age of Empires 4 brings an evolved real-time strategy game to a new generation. Return to history. The past is prologue as you are immersed in a rich historical setting of 8 diverse civilizations across the world, from the English to the Chinese to the Delhi Sultanate, in your quest for victory. Build cities, manage resources, and lead your troops to battle on land and at sea in 4 distinct campaigns with 35 missions that span across 500 years of history from the Dark Ages up to the Renaissance. Choose your path to greatness with historical figures. Live the adventures of Joan of Arc in her quest to defeat the English, or command mighty Mongol troops as Genghis Khan in his conquest across Asia. The choice is yours, and every decision you make will determine the outcome of history." End quote. I've spent about 30 hours playing Age of Empires 4. That involves completing the whole campaign, which is separated into 4 books or chapters, with each campaign chapter including between 5 to 10 missions. Unlike Age of Empires 3, where the campaign focuses on specific narrative aspects or characters, Age of Empires 4 focuses on historical events, which you can experience through a mix of live action scenes and CG animated characters, visually transporting you to the past while also serving as a sort of history lesson.
William the Conqueror had recaptured York from the rebels. Now he wanted to teach them a lesson for defying him. He began a brutal campaign of destruction to crush any further resistance. Known as the Harrying of the North, villages and crops were destroyed. It is said 100,000 people were killed. With ruthless efficiency, William the Conqueror had secured obedience in his new kingdom.
Playing through the campaign also unlocks interesting historical short videos that show you how various armor and weaponry were created and give you a flavor of what it was like to live during that period. It's a great addition and made me want to turn on the Discovery Channel and watch an hour-long documentary. The campaign can be played in a variety of difficulty settings. The first is Story, which is highly recommended for new players who just want to immerse themselves in the historical story. Then there's Easy, Intermediate, and Hard for those who desire a more difficult task and want to earn all of the unique rewards. Speaking of rewards, there are a few unlockable trinkets that you can obtain by completing various objectives. However, these don't always do anything other than change the portrait or monument. The latter are somewhat difficult to obtain and are visible in-game. It is essentially adjusting the bell in your town center and is intended to be displayed during online matches. There are also daily activities that provide you additional experience and raise your profile level. You can also replace your banner's coat of arms, which, while relatively limited, adds to the customization. Unfortunately, modding was not accessible at the time of the review, and it was indicated that mods would only be available early 2022. Other single-player modes include a sophisticated skirmish mode, which you can customize. You have the option of playing in sandbox or normal mode, as well as setting the win conditions. The starting conditions such as resources, age, and map state can also be altered. With a total map size of 8, you can add up to 7 other players. The biomes available are European temperature, taiga summer, taiga winter, steppes, Gobi desert, Asian temperature, chalk downs, and Asian subtropical. The Art of War is another single-player mode that consists of a series of challenges that must be completed within a specific amount of time. The rewards you can win include bronze, silver, and gold, depending on how quickly you accomplish each challenge. These are relatively difficult, but if you're a seasoned player, you'll breeze through them without breaking a sweat. If playing by yourself isn't your thing, then there's also multiplayer. At the moment, there are just regular mode, 1 vs 1, 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4 modes, as well as the opportunity to play these with a friend against AI. You can also observe a match if you just want to sit back and relax. However, ranked matches were not available at the time of the review. Moving on to the visuals of the game, Age of Empires 4 does a good job of depicting the vast armies on screen, albeit it does have a cartoonish feel to it, which often breaks immersion. I can honestly say that it doesn't seem quite as good as the trailers made it out to be when the game was first revealed, but it does a good job of appearing modern while still feeling familiar. For the most part, it went smoothly, and I'm running it on a 1070 GTX, so I'm really curious how this game performs at 4K. In terms of sound, Age of Empires 4 offers some of the greatest I've heard in any RTS game. The way the army sounds as they surge into a chaotic battle, the voices of the troops, and the carefully constructed music that complements each scene are all fantastic. The sound effects in the live action footage are equally great. Each faction's army list is quite basic and straightforward, with a few distinct types of melee infantry, a few different ranged troops, cavalry, and a decent selection of siege weaponry. Each also features at least one or more unique unit, and other minor changes exist as well. Although the campaign does a fair job of going through each faction, during multiplayer or skirmish, you have the option to choose between 8 different armies: English, Chinese, French, Holy Roman Empire, Mongols, Rus, Delhi Sultanate, and Abbasid Dynasty. Age of Empires 4 is one of the most enjoyable real-time strategy games I've played in a long time. Although the modding section is not currently available, it gets me excited for the possibilities of what the community can build, considering that mods have frequently not only extended the life of games, but also resulted in new substantial content, and Age of Empires 4 surely has a lot of opportunity for expansion. Is Age of Empires 4 worth the money? The simple answer is yes. I'd easily give this game an 8.5 out of 10, but if you're on the fence, know that it's also on Game Pass, so if you have a Game Pass PC subscription, then you can easily get this game for free. I'd like to thank Microsoft and Xbox Nordic for providing me with a review key on PC, and for more gaming content, check out the rest of my channel. If you enjoyed this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, then give me a thumbs down, but please tell me why so I can improve my videos. My name is Frank, I'm the RedTieGuy, and frankly, thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.